Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Did you hear what I said?
It's a house! Huh? Huh?
What's going on, freaks? How the hell's it going? I think I figured out that problem we were having with the audio yesterday. It actually looked it up on ChatGPT and everybody, and that weird sound that we were getting, that whatever the hell that was, that's when your screen locks up. There's a known issue with Google Voice that makes it do that sound. However, what I've done is I've made it so that my screen is locked. It won't turn off until I do it myself manually. So that way it's always on, and it should work just fine at that point. All right. Yeah, so I was on Ashley Banfield show. We were just kind of doing a collab, you know. It wasn't like she was interviewing me or something, you know, like we were just doing a same kind of thing like when she was on my show. Hey, thanks so much there, Phyllis Watson. Very nice. So I was just on Ashley Banfield's show, and we discussed, she has some information that she got that she's putting out in a video later this evening. And I was just randomly, I was already putting together a folder of the house and trying to, you know, see if we can go through that again. We tried one night, but I think I've got it dialed in, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to try to draw a, you know, of course we don't know if they've done any remodeling or anything like that, but we could probably try to come up with something. All right. So anyways, if you guys could, you know, hit that like button, watch her live stream, or not, it's not a live stream, it's a video that she's putting out. I was just on there though, for the second time. Now let's see. Somebody sent me, you know, I don't have any faith in anything that JLR puts out there, but he, somebody put this, sent me a something. I mean, this person's just obsessed with it being this one particular person, so it never, whatever they type, it's just always bias. So it's hard to really ever know. But he said in a post, you know, let's see, what does it say? I can confirm the FBI went to gun stores in Tucson area, looked into people with the following last name: Abnusi, Mobashir, Bamrahman, Bakhtir, Abnus, you know, etc. You know, so, you know, Muslim names. That's what he's claiming. I don't know what that even means. Okay, there you go. Wow, look at that. We've got Eve Loves God is 23 months. Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. And so, of course, the person who thinks it's this Zach guy who's from Jordan, you know, I don't know who the person is, so it could be anything. It's just that give me somebody with some credibility, all right? That would be great. Thank you. Oh, I've got to get the dog camera. And by the way, if you're out there and you can help support the channel, that'd be great. Let's see if we can, have a smooth flow tonight. It already seems kind of jagged. All right, I don't know if the dogs will show up over there. I guess now I can put the picture. Hold on a second. And put her in there. And we also have a Jane Doe case that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't have any faith in there being that they went to the gun stores looking at these particular names. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, well, it's really, yeah, I don't, but if you notice, I don't do that over here. I'm not throwing out a whole bunch of random names. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell, went down and sort of think of, the profile of the most likely type of person. So it's pretty interesting. There's really only 5 doors on, we worked through the whole thing. So if you watch that video, it's pretty cool on her channel, Ashley Banfield. Drop Dead Serious, I think it is. It's pretty cool. Like, we actually go through and go around the whole house and everything. And there's 5 doors that you can get into the home. So it turns out that this is a door, a slider right there, too, and that's a slider. But let's just work through this. So here is that portion of the home. See, that's a slider from the living room that goes in onto the deck area that leads right to Nancy Guthrie's room, also on a slider. I don't know if it's 100% her room right there, but it makes sense. That there's a slider from the master bedroom onto a deck, right? And so that's right there. Okay, and then that's obviously another slider that goes into Nancy's room there, right? And we see Nancy in this video right there, and you see that window right there, and I think that's the window that we're looking at right here. That's this one, and it's probably just it's so thin, the horizontal slashes, that you can't really see them. So that's going to be her room. Now, if you look at it, there's probably only, 4 feet from the edge of the window to the wall there. So that means that wall would start right there. That means there's another room back here. Okay? And, whether it's, I think there's literally a hallway that goes right here, and then can go to each room there. So I'm going to show you the layout here. It's kind of hard to make sense of it, but I'll do it. But man, you guys, we need to get a challenge going or something early on. Got a late start. I'm sorry. I had to do a whole nother show before this. It took over an hour, and I'm here now. But we need to try to reach the goal tonight again. We're getting close to the end of the month, 23rd. All right, so who's going to do the challenge? And here is that's probably the best map. This part right here is not part of the house. It's just the yard. So you can almost delete this portion, this whole thing right here. You could literally delete it. I don't know. There's no dog. I don't know what the deal is there. Let me go over to, I'm just going to use the full monitor and then put myself down in the corner, small, maybe like that. That's probably better. It's not, just let me go through it, LOX, okay? Let me figure it out for you. Yeah, I know. All right, so this right over here is that patio, right there. And there's a slider right there, and there's a slider right there. And then we know recently, let's just go in order right here. I'll just do it kind of the way we did it. So here's a garage door right there. And inside the garage door, there is a door that goes into the house. So after you go inside the garage, that goes into the house, right? And so that looks like it's right in the middle of the garage. And then you go around to here, and this is a door that had a camera right there. But it turns out that that camera, you know, I mean, obviously the camera was broken. We've all seen that. I think it's on this video right here. We can see it. So this right here, see this blue door? We'll show that in a minute. I'm going to move it to that door that we just saw. Right here. See, there is the door on the side of the garage. We got Troll Central again. What's going on, you guys? What's happening? Sorry, you guys. We're being bombarded by trolls again. Wow. It's amazing. How come you guys aren't removing these people? That's what I'm talking about. You know, you guys need to look at these people. Yeah, now it's going to be a struggle because people read what they say, and it's just, yeah, make sure to hide all of those people. They were just waiting for tonight. When's Gray going live? When's he going live? We got to bombard him. Come on, we got to bombard him. Yeah. And the only way to punish those guys is if you guys help support the channel. Yeah, what they're trying to do is destroy the ability for people to help support it. Well, you look like one too there, Liam, by saying something stupid like that. All right, let's see. That's crazy. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We'll just wait a while. Wait for them to get done. Anyways, this is the light that they took off, and this is the door that goes on the side of the... That's this one right here. And there's a light. See that? That's this. Now, this is probably... You know, she might have done some painting or remodeling at some point. I mean, I do see a blue in there. Like, that's that door. This one should be blue, too. But it's... You know, who knows if they painted it more recent. Well, you guys are feeding the trolls by not removing the comments immediately. Yeah, they always do the same thing. It's like every single night. They show up on videos that I make, and it's the same sentences over and over again, too. Jeez. Anyways, you guys, I don't know. I already feel like we're doing the same thing again tonight. You know, here we are. We're deep into the show, struggling already. Trolls showing up. This is where it just gets to the point where it's not fun doing the shows. You know, maybe if I just hide the chat and don't look at it, yeah, I can do it. Mm-hmm. All right, so anyways, that door right there leads into a storage unit that does not go into the home. So that's not the door that was wide open. That was previously stated. So if you look right here, That's the storage unit. Again, this part here is just the yard. This right here is the garage. And then right here is a storage unit. So a portion of that, when you look at the garage up here, from like here over is part of the house. You know, so there's a storage unit that goes there, and then this portion right in there is, you know, probably a breakfast area, and the kitchen's in this general area too. And let me show you. I don't know. It just throws me off with these people. Yeah, but I need your guys' support to help support the channel, you guys. When the trolls come in, the best way to get back at them is to help support the channel. And yet there was nothing, so it almost feeds into them wanting to keep doing that. All right, so if you guys can do that, that would be great. Thank you. All right. So here is this part here is the part that's a little difficult. Because I have these photographs from inside the home, but I think I've got it figured out. And these are from, you know, somebody sent them to me a while ago. And there's this one right here. See, this obviously is the door that came from the garage. See that? That's the door that came from the garage. And then if you look at it, this wall right here goes right to there. And as Ashley was saying, I mean, obviously the cars are right through there. You know, we just saw that door. Now this door, this image is way older. So that door isn't the same type of door that we see in this image. See how it goes all the way down? This is kind of a newer type of door where you have the shades inside, etc. Inside the glass. And so they probably just replaced this door with one of those. But you see right here, there's a door, and then there's a wall, and then there's this little piece of a wall, and then around there, there's a window. So it's interesting if you go up and you look at Google Earth. Way to go, guys. Way to get those trolls off our back. Thank you. Anyway, see, you it's just ridiculous. So right there, there's a wall. It could be right there as well. And then there's a door somewhere like right here that we're looking at. And it's weird because sometimes I think that door is, there's like a, you know, dining room table. Maybe that door is right here. I mean, I guess that is possible that door is right here. And then there's a dining room that we're looking at right there. But that doesn't really work, you know. So it's really interesting how this all plays out. So when you go through this front door right here and you look at this image, this one, this is right when you come through the door, like just to the left. If you could turn around, and to the left is the archway. And then you can see this window here. See, there's one, not four, but three, two thinner planes or panes, and then a thicker one right there. Thanks, Wild Bill and Alley Cake. And then there's a door right there. See that? And that's what we're looking at when we look at, let's see, where is that image? This one. So we go to the beginning. See, there's the door. See that? It's pretty interesting. There's the door, and then right there is the window. We'll see here better here in a second. I think it's crazy that not one videographer went out there. And see, there you go. See how it's the narrow pane, the wider one, and then the narrow pane right there? That's exactly what we're looking at in this image. That's what this is, the narrow one. And then look back there. What do you see out here, you guys? You see the brick wall, and then the corner's right there, and then the wall goes this way now. You see that? So right there is the corner, and then the wall goes that direction. So what you're looking at there is right here. This is where those windows are. That blue door is right there. Then if you turn around like this, look at that. There's the brick wall, the corner, and then it goes like that. So that's 100% the right shot there. All right, who's going to do a challenge, you guys? We need to get a challenge going in here. And then there's another shot inside the home, which is, it's interesting, is this one. I was kind of confused of what this was, but I remember after a show one time I figured it out. See those? Let me go back up here. See that right there? That is a chimney. So right when you come in this door here, if you turn to the left and you look this direction, this is what you see. Not that one. Hold on. This one right here. That's exactly what you see. So that means right to the left and back a little bit is the doorway arch, the door, and then out to the archway. All right, so this is basically what you see, the living room. When you come into the house, you turn to the left, and this is what you see. Now, you might go, well, what the hell are you talking about, Gray? Well, look at this. See that window right there on the left? And then this right over here, that's the slider that goes out to the deck where Nancy Guthrie's room leads out to as well. And look at this, watch. There's the window on the left, and then there is the slider, and it's right after the chimney. So what it means is in this image that we're looking at, not that one. Oh yeah, it is this one. You see this window, and that means there's another window right over here that we can't see because we're too far back. And then there's an entryway to a door that goes out to the archway. See that? Absolutely a reality. Okay, so now that we're looking at that, you can look up here and see, okay, so that wall goes all the way down like this. See that? It goes all the way down. And so when you come in, there's an opening here, but if you turn to, there's the archway. So right there you can see directly straight ahead in this image, right here. So that's like you also came through the arch, you look straight ahead, and then if you turn to the left, you see that other image that we were just looking at. This one. So that means to the right, you can see all the way down into the area there. But hey, you guys, listen, this is, on my channel. My channel relies on the people watching the channel to help support the channel. There is no other income source that comes in. If you appreciate what we do here, my channel's donated $289,000 to true crime related charities. It relies on the generosity of you guys. We're having another just incredibly awful night again, and I don't know what to do about it. But if you can help in any way, buying channel memberships, etc., do the challenges, I would appreciate it. We're already on the 23rd of the month. We've already given out $1,500. We're at, 9,000 something this year so far. And I need your guys' support. All right? I don't get the same views as the other, the big ones get. So if you could please help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Instead of having me ask 14,000 times, which disrupts the show, but I need to get things rolling along. All right? Thank you. All right, so when you just come into the house, you turn to the left, this is what it looks like. There's a wall that goes all the way down there. Slider goes out to the deck there. Then if you turn right out on that deck, it goes right into Nancy Guthrie's bedroom through her slider. And then Nancy Guthrie's, when you get out on this deck, You go through the slider, you're in her room, and there's the window that's in her room, and her headboard's right there. So likely there was a bedroom back here, maybe a master bathroom. We don't really know. Another thing to look at is when you're looking at the... when you're looking, the arch of entering the home is to the left and behind us over here. And then you can see this door here. But notice how it's around the corner and there's a wall there. And that door that the suspect came in is this one. So it must be very close. It's very close to Nancy Guthrie's bedroom. Anybody hear what I just said a second ago? Yeah, so there's a door right there. And you can see that from that video. The one we're just seeing is right here, looking that direction. Then it goes around a corner. So I think there's a hallway right back here with a door that went into a room there, and then a door that goes into Nancy's bedroom. And that hallway is on the other side of that wall. So you come around like there, and then you turn, and then there's 2 rooms around that corner there. Now, don't worry about it, Wise old tail. Nobody, it doesn't matter. I need the support when people are watching the show. That's about the only way we're going to get anywhere. It's too difficult. Most people don't care. Yeah, to be honest with you. Well, there's Wild Bill again. He's always helping out. Thanks, Wild Bill. Well, there's one of them from Wild Bill. So Wild Bill had a 5 for $5. So if you guys gift 1 channel membership. Oh, and look at Phyllis will do one too. So we have, if you guys gift 10 memberships, 10 will be, Phyllis will do 5 and Wild Bill Wassman will do 5. All right, how's that sound? So that would give us a good start. So we just need 10 individuals to gift a membership or a $5 super chat or whatever. It all equals the same. All right. Thank you. All right. There's 2. There's 2. Yeah. So it's weird. I almost feel like I got to... If I take this... Well, why don't... Yeah. You know what we should do? This is the house, right? And it's really accurate. I mean, Google Earth is really, really accurate. So I'm going to... All right, there's 3. Thanks, guys. Why don't we go like this? So what if we take this and then maybe bring this into Photoshop? There's 3, guys. We need 7 more. I should have realized when nobody was helping when the trolls were in that this is what we're going to be getting. Let's see. Where the hell is the one Photoshop? I don't know. Let's just use this one. All right, guys, we got 7 of them. We need 3. We got 3. We need 7 more. That's great, Missy 6. We'll do those later, Missy 6. Thanks for remembering that. I had remembered myself. Who the hell are you, man? God, you're crazy. Here we go, you guys. The trolls are in. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Here we go. We got the trolls. Sure, yeah. After the YouTube takes the 30%, multiply that times 6 and tell me what you get. Yeah, that's what I thought. Absolute idiots. Let's see. Let me go through. Shit. All right, you guys, we need to get 7 more, you guys. All we got was the 3. We need 7 more to get matched and keep moving forward. All right. I don't know why it's so difficult. There. Yes, last night I said I was going to give 5. Of course, I don't know, man. I always feel like trolls are the ones that I was going to do it anyways later. But now I'm way behind, so. But these are 5, but not to be. Okay, so we can make those the 5 of them, all right? So 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 2 more, all right? And then that'll match the 2 challenges that are out there. I don't care, Spunky, if you can comment or not. I don't really give a shit. Thank you. If you're not a member, then you just won't be able to participate. I made it for subscribers only. I think that's like sometimes when you automatically go live with StreamYard, it puts it for anybody, and I think that might be what these people have been doing. But we'll just have to see. All right, there we go. We got the 10. Awesome. All right, there you go. There's so let me crop it like this. All right, now let's bring in the map over here. Let's see if we can put that right on top of it. Thank you, Phyllis Watson. Thank you for your... I'm sorry, you guys, for the trolls. I don't know. They say the same thing. They have this little thing that they cut and clip, and it's a disgruntled moderator who eventually, you know, got a whole bunch of other people and started these groups of people who just hate my channel over and over and over again. And I would say that my channel has been one of the most productive and helpful channels in the history of true crime on YouTube. All right, my channel has given 200, and here's the actual numbers right here. Look at this, $289,612, and we're at $9,500 this year. And I do that by bringing in ad revenue, super chats, etc., etc., etc. And if you guys don't like it, go F yourselves, okay? I'm going to keep doing the same way until we get a point where people are just smoothly... I'm trying to make things happen here. And if you don't like it, then go F yourselves. That's all I can tell you. The trolls never talk about that part, the $289,000. They just go, oh, look at Gray, look at... They don't like it when we succeed. All right? So, whatever it is, I don't know what to tell you. It's just getting really disheartening, to be honest with you. Thanks, Karen. Yeah. So let's see what how accurate this thing lines up with this. All right. I'm going to make this transparent. And if it doesn't, we can just make it match. So yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, it's at 0. Okay, let me make it about that. Oh, look at that. Not bad. Edit, transform, scale. Yep, right there. Yeah, so that one's, you know, they didn't draw it perfectly. Let's see, let's go all the way over there. Yeah, maybe it is good. Oh yeah, that's good. Wow, look at that. Man, that's you guys seeing that? That's crazy. That fits right on there. Thank you, Alley Cat. Same old person. Yeah, that thing is right on the money. Look at that. Boom. And then this one, I can make this one go up a little bit more. And this one. And that. Wow, this might help a lot right here. I think this will be really helpful to have this on top of that. I don't think the house would be torn down. There's nothing really in there. I mean, a few drops of blood. There's no way they would tear that thing down for that. Isn't that cool, you guys? Look at, watch. Ding, 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 ding. Look how perfect that is. I can have that like that and go like that. And it's perfect. Okay, I'm going to put a... Oh, man. All right, so I think we might be able to figure something out here. Hey, Chris O'Connell. Hey, thank you. You just missed a absolute barrage from the trolls, man. There must have been 200 comments in there. I think I need to put it on subscribers only mode though. I think that might be one of the problems. Now, let me mess around with this a little bit more. You should have seen it. It would have been your favorite. Not that you like it. I'm just saying you like to. There we go. It's right there, and then this goes there, and then. Oh, I see. It's not rotated perfectly. But I think that's about as good as you're going to get right there. Yeah, you should have seen it, man. Must have been 100 in there. I think Coco Love even was able to block a couple of them. She was like, "Wow." I'm sorry for what they do. Okay, but like I was saying before, I was just on Ashley Banfield. We recorded like an hour show on her show, and then she's gonna post it here probably right now, momentarily, and you guys can check it out. Yeah, Abandoned Dunes. Yeah. Abandoned Dunes is one of the most beautiful. I mean, just in turn, the whole place is amazing. All right, let me rotate this lower thing a little bit. Now that I can see it, hold on. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, look at that. That fits everywhere. Every single element. Watch when I turn it off. Look at that. Boom. Blink, 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 blink. That's even better. Isn't that crazy, you guys? So now we have a perfect map over the top. Let me save this. I'm going to put it right in the main folder. Why is my phone going? I have it set to. Oh. Notification. Oh. There we go. All right, so now we have a layer on the top. So let's try to figure out now and draw in what it looks like. Let me get rid of the graph part of this. See, now you get rid of that, and then you blink it on and off. It's really clear. See that? Really absolutely matches the house. It's a little weird right in that area. Let me try it a little bit more and just see if I can. Yeah, they just drew that a little off, that little space there. Yeah. Right there. All right. So now that we have this, we can go and look at some of these pictures again. So here is the one. Let's try it like this. Let's do the one where we see this one. So we know exactly where this is. This one is really clear and easy to figure out. So we're looking at this, and let's zoom in right over here. That's the fireplace inside the home right here. See that? That's the fireplace right there. And so that means there's a wall, and the wall, where the wall is located is the difficult part. here. So right here is the arch where you come into the house. And then there's appears to be a... You know what we could do is look at the window outside and then kind of... You notice how like right over there it goes down, and then it's really only about maybe 2 feet or so on each side. So we might be able to figure that out by looking at on here and then going over that. So it looks like this line on the roof is actually that line, just by looking at that. That looks like that line on the roof, and then is the wall that's inside there. So we'll go back to that, and then here we might be able to draw, let's do like a, from right here to, let's just put it to here. And we'll fill it with red. There you go. So that's there. Now it might be a little less than that. And there's a window right here. I don't know how we could just make like little blocks for maybe we'll make those blue or something. All right. What do you guys think? Window there, and then there's a window right here. Might be probably the same size, but yeah. And then I'm not sure what when they draw this, so that means the door is right here. This is the patio out there, 5 feet 9, which makes sense. Yeah, there's like 66 inches, and then there's grout and whatnot. But hey guys, let's see if we can try to reach the goal tonight. We're only about like 50%, so see if we can try to do that. I think I'm going to remove part of that here. And then right here is the door to get into the house. Make that, I don't know, what do you guys, maybe black or something? Maybe we'll do black for all the doors. I don't know who you're talking to, Punky. Well, you might have been muted because there was a bunch of trolls around and we didn't know who was which at the time. But you guys, can we please keep the support for the channel? We're currently at like 50% of a nightly goal, so, and that's even including my 5 that I put in. Okay, so then we see this, and then I mean it's really interesting how this whole layout is. Because we're going to go ahead and look at this shot again. That's what we're looking at. We're looking down towards this direction, and then there's a sliding glass door, basically from this whole portion right here. And then there's a sliding glass door right here. Hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell. Yeah, I wish more people thought that, but hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Sliding glass door. And then right over here, there's a door. Let's look at that video again. That might be a useful way to do it. We'll put in all the doors and windows, then sort of work through. Windows are, well, I don't know. The inside is very difficult to discern. But this is helpful right here, really. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. Yeah. And thank you up there also to Phyllis Watson for your support up in there, and Wild Bill Wassman. Everybody else, I'm sorry for the trolls. I'm sure they're deflating to everybody. But I think it might be my fault that I have it open to the public. When I'm using StreamYard, you shouldn't have to worry about shit like that. But when you're using StreamYard, so I mean, maybe the person just has to subscribe and then wait 5 minutes and then deploy the same crap again. I don't know. If that's the case, we'll have to do members only live streams when that happens, unfortunately. Okay, and then there's a window here and here, so on both sides of that. Yeah, so we already did that one, and then we'll put one over here. So that means there's another window over here. There you go. Alright, so let's just work on that part. So when you know, we got the fireplace over here, the wall right there. What the heck? Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chris O'Connell. All right, we're going to look at another picture, and that is this one. So this one's crazy, right? Like, where's this one? Well, this one's right there, too. It's almost as if the person just turned their camera and did the, you know, and, well, I guess it couldn't really be turning the camera. But, I mean, close, though. You know why? Because that arch has to be just to the left here. See that window right there? That's the one that goes out to the porch. And if we use Google Earth, here it is. That's a little porch window. It's right in there. So that means to see it, you're standing, the way they're looking at it is right there. And then look where the arch is. So that means that the person doing that shot is really almost in the same place. So I bet you where I have this end right here is another wall that goes from, like, let's see, right there down almost to, like, right here, which makes sense. Might have to move some of this a little bit, but And thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, look at that. And this all makes sense, too. Look at that. This is crazy. And then I think there's even a... Well, I guess we'll have to look at it. But when you look at this wall here, I wish I could just flip this around. But you see how it ends right there? It goes up here, but it ends right there, and you can go around the corner. See that? So you can go around the corner, and that's kind of what I have right here. It comes down, and then it goes around the corner, and then that door is right there. So let's see where that door is on the video. How close it is to the corner. Looks like it's a couple feet off of that. So we can might be able to adjust some things just based on that. See how that's a couple feet from the wall, that window? So I don't really have it quite like that. The door would be black. So the door would be, that's 28 feet. I mean, I guess it would be sort of like right here. And maybe that is pretty close. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. See how you can see part of the door, and then it goes around the corner here. And I think there's a hallway when you go around this corner, and you can get into two different rooms. It might be something where, I mean, what do you guys think when it goes around that corner? Because we know Nancy Guthrie's room ends... yeah, probably half of this is her room. Because remember how the board behind her head? Let me show you that again. See, look. There's the window right there, right? Let me find the part that you can see it better. There it is. See the window on the left there? That wall is probably only about 4 or 5 feet past the window. Do you see that? Hey, let me ask you, look, here's the thing, everybody. We get the trolls come in here every day and they say that I'm taking money from elderly people. I do a show on YouTube, and true crime, most of the people that watch true crime are, you know, my age groups are like 45 to 75 or something. You know, and I tell everybody, if you can't afford to send me super chats, then don't do it. All right? Don't send it in. You know, keep it for your own self. If you can afford it, then great. But nobody has to do anything. And so when the trolls show up, they type all this stuff in here. It's pure lunacy, and it sucks to, you know, I feel like I almost have to explain shit because they put in so many comments that people read and go, oh, wow, wow, wow. What are you talking about? You know? God. Anyways, right over here, there's a window, and then there's her headboard there. So obviously, when you look at outside over here, here's that window, and it you know, the wall is going to be right there, right? I mean, it's not going to be way back over here. It's right here. That means there's another room or something, you know, right through there. So we're going to go and look back at the map again, and I would say, you know, somewhere right around in here is a wall. Might be less than that. Hold on. More than that, I mean. So maybe something like this. And but I don't know if there's a hallway or something in here. There could be, you know. So you turn left, and then we know that there's another room over here. So it feels like there's a hallway or something right here. And then maybe there's a closet or something, you know, I don't know what's at the end of it. It's like a waste of space to do that, though. How would you do that? Do you guys even know what I'm looking at? I'm talking about this, not that one. This one right here. See, when you go around that wall to get to the door, that's where Nancy and another room are, right over there. So you would think that maybe there's a hallway, or perhaps there's a door right there that goes into that room, and then, you know what? Let's try that. I'm just trying to make it make sense. I think it could go just like this. Watch. So you turn, and then there's a door right here. Yeah, perfect. There's two doors. I'm just going to guess. All right, this is my guessing at what we have here. Bill. Okay, and then there's no way for us to know because we can't see it, but I'm going to guess something like that. And by the way, the elderly people and everybody who's been watching my show, you guys have made a huge difference. Not just for helping me survive as a channel, but for the $289,000 that my channel's given to true crime related charities, which is $289,000 more than all the other channels combined. All right, they don't do a goddamn thing for anybody. Gray, don't use the Lord's name in vain. Well, you know what? I'm pissed off. I'm sorry. All right, here is a door. I'm going to say that there's a door right here. That's what I think. I think there's a door here. Like you come around that corner, boom, you go through a door, and then there's another door to the left. And this one goes into the master bedroom. I think there's like maybe two doors right next to each other. There's that one, and maybe this one. Yeah, maybe this goes out a little bit further, etc. But this makes some sense here. All right, and then there's a wall right here, I think, that goes straight across to here. And I think that is, there's two rooms back there, and I don't need help. You know, don't go, hey Gray, I was looking at, I don't care, I'm just doing it. All right. All right. And then there's a slider. So this is the master bedroom. It's bigger. And then this one is a little bit smaller, but that one's actually pretty big. It's 32 feet long. So there might even be, you know, who knows how this is laid out. There might be two bedrooms over here. Now, is there a door that goes from one to the other? I don't know. Maybe you come around this corner and there's a hallway going this way, and then there's a door there and a door here. You know what? That might even be a better way to do this. Let me try it again. I'm going to switch this up. Let me get rid of all this. I like that idea. That one actually made sense. All right, here we go. There's a hallway. Hey, thanks. She Fell in Love. Get it? Man, what a cool name. She Fell in Love? She Fell in Love. You get it? All right, let's try this again. Go down over here. all the way across. Edit, fill. All right, and then let's say there's a hallway right here. And maybe there's a bathroom. I mean, who knows? But I think that it might be something like this. This makes more sense, like if you were designing it. I bet you one of these, there's a bathroom in here somewhere. And then I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, there was, let's just say there's a wall somewhere in here. This is just, you know, trying to come up with something. And then there's probably two doors, a whole bunch of doors actually. So we got this one, and then maybe a door like right here that goes into Nancy's room. Something like that. What do you guys think of that? That one actually sort of looks kind of reasonable. So you make that turn right over there. See that? You turn, and that actually goes down a hallway where it goes to two different rooms. Does that make sense? Huh, yeah. That's weird. Yeah, that's strange. So part of that wall that you see outside, when you go outside over here, when you're back here, see, that's all outside, everything underneath here. So there's a wall right there that actually extends back out from the door, which extends, you know, the bedrooms and everything. And Nancy's room is right here with her slider, and then this slider goes into the living room. Wow, this is pretty good. I think we're figuring something out. Hey, Foghorn, I don't care what your opinion is, okay? Go do something else. Thank you. I just did bathrooms, you idiot. Yeah. All right, and we don't know. You know, there's some dark spots in here. God, you guys, man. No, you don't see what they're saying. You don't know what they're. Yeah. Jesus, where do these people come from? Right. So this is Nancy's bedroom right here. It's big. And then over here, one of these is a bathroom, one is probably a bedroom. And it's still big. These are big rooms. Now, Nancy's room might be smaller. And maybe there's, you know, the walls here, and then there's two doors. Like, there could be, split that in half, and there's another bedroom, a bathroom, you know. Whatever it is, it's shaped like this. This is Nancy's room. Her bed was basically, let's see, right over here, like this. That's where her bed is. Yeah, I don't need to really draw it in, but that's where her bed is right there. I'm not going to look at it. I know where stuff is, Foghorn. We've already done it. We already know where everything is, man. Don't help out. I'm going to have to put you on timeout if you keep doing it, man. I'm not interested in what you have to say. I just explained it to you. I've already gone through all this. I don't want to listen. I'm going to work through it myself. You can watch. Thank you. Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. No. Right, so the one that's hard now, let's go back to this other image. This is the other room where the window is here. And it looks like, you know, when you look at the roof of the house, it does seem like it gives you some indications of things. So what we're looking at is, I mean, it's interesting. See this little fireplace there is the one on the right. So it's almost as if there's a wall, and we've already drawn that one in. That's this wall right here. And then there's obviously like another, maybe another wall there. You know, that's the one thing we don't really know. Maybe a short wall. So that wall might be something like, let's just throw it in. Let's just draw one in there for the hell of it. You know, something like this. Oh, I'm so mean. Yep, you just threw me in prison, you guys. Oh, well, I guess we're stuck on, we're not doing the show until we get bailed out. There we go. Darn it. Gray, you're so mean. Yeah, when you get people that throw it, when they say so mean, you get you getting thrown in prison. Let's see what happens. Somebody, we got to get bailed out of here. I don't know. This bail's like, okay, let's see. We need to get give some money to the prison guard, and then an Uber ride home to a hotel room, and then maybe a Motel 6. You know. And some people just buy me ramen, which really doesn't help at all. Get to the, get out of prison. It's just, here's some food. Thanks, Allie Cake. Yeah, it's bad luck there. I'm not checking out any comments. I'm sorry. I already know where everything is, Elisa. I don't need the help. Thanks. Let's see. While you wait. Well, if you have a clip of that, you can send it to me. That'd be sweet. That's it, you guys? You're gonna let me languish here in prison? Man. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, we got Wild Bill Wassman. He just threw some towards bail. Okay. If you have a video, Alyssa, of what you're talking about with the specific timeline, go ahead and send it. But I think I can already see where the kitchen is. There could have been some remodeling, though. That's one of the things we don't really know about. But I think those pictures are all from the right time frame. I think we're pretty close. This little thing that I have drawn right here. I don't know if there's a hallway there. I don't have any way to know that, but could be. Man, you guys, this is like the worst prison stint that I've ever had. You guys are just... Yeah, I don't know if I'll find him or not. You guys are the one that threw me in there. That's what the so mean thing is. Hey, there you go. Hey, look at that. Chris O'Connell got me some grape bubblicious. Remember grape bubble yum? Man, that stuff was $5 a piece when it first came out. Only a few people got to get that grape bubble yum. Thank you, Chris O'Connell. Well, there you go. We've got, that's probably gets me bailed out. Now we just need an Uber ride. Oh, looks like Marty got me a hotel with some coffee. Oh, thanks, Marty. All right, we're out of there. Where's the full monitor? There we go. But yeah, you have to send it to me, Alyssa. I'm not looking for anything. All right. Yeah, you'd have to send it to me. So they've had the mom on there multiple times. Is that what you're saying? I know where the kitchen is, though. You can see it. Hold on, that's not the kitchen. It's right here. This is the kitchen right there. See? All right, let's see. I do see it. I see what you're... Oh, wait. That's not even their house. That's not her house. When they're playing Mahjong. That's somebody else's. That's not... You're talking about this one right here, right? This thing? Yeah, they're playing Mahjong, but that's not that's not Nancy's house at all. Where did you come up with that? That's crazy. That's nothing to do with anything. Yeah, it's just somewhere else. It is not. It isn't. It isn't. That right there is not Nancy's home. I can tell you that. That part right there, that's absolutely not her house. Hey, look at that. Whoa, Chris O'Connell gave me a special convertible ride with iced Arnold Palmer's to the hotel.
That long to just play.
I love that your mother turned you on to the game.
Oh, I know. You can learn pretty quick things. You just have to practice.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it would take years to be really, really good.
Yeah.
But not that long to just play.
I love that your mother turned you on to the game.
Oh, I know.
So
and
what?
It's been such a fun bonding thing. Because my mom, there she is. So when I went to
That's just a shot of her house. It has nothing to do with it.
see her a couple months
Oh, you mean this part right here? Okay.
ago in Arizona, she invited her mahjong lady.
No, that's exactly the same shot then. Look it. See this? Oh shit. Oh, man. Alright, that makes sense. Alright. I thought you were talking about the first part. Look it. See right there? So that table is this table. Looks like they just put something on it. And then that confirms what I was telling you guys, is that this door right here is a remodeled, a new door. It's not that door, but you see that? Look at the angle there. It's exactly the same. Look at that. The door, and then there's a counter exactly where the counter is. So yes. All right. That doesn't add any extra elements unless they turn the camera at some point.
Ladies over, and we all played, and we had.
Oh. Is this... let me go back. Oh, okay. So you do get a little extra in there. Thank you. I mean, look how different the coloring... So that other picture must be from like 30 years ago. Alright, hold on a second. I'm going to save some of these.
Just play.
I love that your mother turned you on to the game.
Oh, I know, and it's been such a fun bonding thing. Because my mom, there she is. So when I went to see her a couple.
Yeah. So that one's that's the garage door right there. It's the same as the other shot. I'm just gonna get still frames really quick. Yeah, I saw that. I already did. You must be way behind.
couple months ago in Arizona. She invited her mahjong ladies over, and we all played, and we had a great time.
And that was at the beginning.
So it is that's exactly how I was picturing this. Like there's an opening there.
It was
of
my
your
mom's
journey.
kitchen. I was just
You know what's weird is when you're looking at the map, it's so much bigger though than you think. So there's easily a chance for there to be different
learning, and now my mom is teaching some of the younger girls.
Is that?
creates a-
It's in a little town I
Okay,
didn't have
so
any
we
friends
have-
in.
we
So
have
that's
that.
good.
There is no town where you have no friends.
All right, Dale, do you want to join the Maj crew?
That's interesting though. I mean, so that means when you turn, it looks totally different. It looks like let's see if we can put a wall in this one right here. Yeah, I know. We got it. We got it, Alyssa. We got everything. We got everything. All right. Thanks for sending that over. There's just 2 shots that you can use. So this one right here is so when you come in. So the garage door is right here. Or right there, I mean. Let me put the door on there. Yeah, I already saw all the other elements. Ah, Jesus, man. What the hell's the tool? There. So there's a garage door right here. Ish. Yeah, it's kind of hard to like right in here. Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for sending me that. I'll figure it out though. Thanks. There we go. So there's a door on this side, right behind her, and then that means right over, like basically right over here is that table. I mean, it's weird because you would almost think it would be in this area, but it doesn't appear to be at all. So yeah, you got this one and this one. So yeah, the bookshelves, you can see through there. So that means there is a wall. It looks like right here, like a little place that you kind of just come in. That's wild. It's almost like just in the 6.5 feet, but it extends out. Can I rotate this whole thing? Try to rotate. Let's see. 180. It's just hard to look at it like that, upside down. I think that the table's right here, and then maybe it does go back over there like that too, but the table's right here. It's a little table there. And it has to be see, because the garage door wall is right there. And this is inside the house. So that means the door has to be there. And that means that table has to be right in this area. And then there might be, and then you come into the door right here. So maybe there's like some other little place that's right here, and then it continues out with that wall. Then there's an opening that you can see, you know, into there. So I guess let me just try to draw some stuff and see. So I think there's something, a wall for sure, based on what Alyssa sent in, right there. And then, but that actually seems like it's like over here a little bit. So you'd have to, like, you know, I don't know 100%. I mean, it could be that it comes right off of this door like this, and something like this right there. Man, this is crazy. It's hard to do it with just a few photos, you know. Right there. And then the table from here you can see. Yeah, you know, maybe this this might be a little bit further over. Let me cut that out. Oops. Maybe like that? Jeez, I don't know. Yeah, I think this might be further over. Right, maybe like this. So I don't know what's in this little nook over here, you know? And that's, maybe this starts here, and it's just sort of a wall put there that you just kind of walk in, and, you know, there's just little walls here and there. That's what I see. Are you guys even here? Hello? Hardly any comments. How long have we been on here? Hour and 28 minutes. All right, I'll wait for you guys to start commenting. It seems like you're just dead as a doornail. Whenever it gets like that, that's when the show's in its dying moments. Okay, all right. We just got to get more comments, you know? See, the door is just off to the right, and it probably equals where this is coming out. The door, you know, so maybe a little bit more off of this. Like that. And then there's a... Yeah, so interestingly, it's just right to the right through there is where that table is, to the right and back a little bit. And then there's this fan, which is like right here. See, that's where the fan is right here. See, that door's right there. Then there's that counter, which is the same as this one. See, there's the counter, the door. That's where they play mahjong. I'm just wondering how this all works over here. I mean, it looks like another 6 feet or so. Can you walk all the way over there? Is there a wall there? We know that there's a wall here based on, you know, Alyssa's video. There's a countertop, you know, like an actual counter. And I don't know if it stops and there's a closet or what the hell's over here to the left. But you see the same bookshelf, way more modern couches, ceiling fan, etc. I mean, see the ceiling fan, and then you compare it to this. This looks really old. Look at this. It almost looks like from the 70s. It's crazy. So you got the bookcase over there, and I didn't ask if it was an original bookcase. Yeah. So anyways, they have the, see that right there? Yeah. It looks really old, like from the 70s. Alright, so then the only other angle is this one for the kitchen. And then it seems like if you're, you know, you're basically standing right here looking towards the kitchen, and I do see that part right there sticking out. Oh, that's pretty interesting. See, that little wall right there is part of that outdoor nook area. And then how the wall continues down like this. And then there should be a window right here. And so that would be where a window is. And let's go look. Is there a window right there? And yes, there is right there. So that is right where this window right here. See how it comes in and there's a wall, a corner right there? That's actually right here. So if you look at this, that corner, that would be the angle that you want to look at it. So see this? That little wall corner? That's right here. And then, you know, it looks like there's almost another window right here underneath there, but apparently there isn't one. So that's one of the confusing things, is did they remodel something? That window right there is, now that we have this worked out, it's got to be the window that's right there. And see that little thing on the ground? There should be a window right here. And so let's go back to Google Earth. There's the thing on the ground, and there's a window right there. So that has to be that window. I don't know what the other, unless there's a window behind this grass right here. Well, that wouldn't even be where it would be. It'd be over here. And so, are we seeing part of that window through there, maybe? It's pretty weird. It's pretty tough. Yeah, so let's put some more doors in. There's a door here. What the hell's going on? Why doesn't it go onto this screen? There we go. The door, no, not there. Right here. There's a door. Okay, there's a door there. And there's the door there. And then we have these slider doors. Yeah, so the perpetrator came through this door right over here. This one. This one right, I don't know if you can see it, but right down. This one, well, that didn't work. That one right there. That's where they came in. And then I think when they came in, all you had to do was turn right and then get into Nancy's room. And then they had to get her out of the room and then took her right out the front door. It's that simple. Just turned right, went right there. This is really what this looks like. So there's a bookshelf right here, a fan, and then a little fireplace thing right here. And then the kitchen is, let's see, let's do that again. So there's a door, and then let's see. The door, and this goes out a little bit. There. Maybe not that far. Make that. There's that, and then this goes likely down to here. I think this is further, like maybe here. And then this goes, yeah, shit. Right there. And here. This is like a countertop. And then the stove is right here. And kind of comes out to the same. Alright, there's a stove, then there's even a little wall that comes out. Let me get the red back in there. There's a little wall that comes out right there. I like that. Man, this is probably boring as hell. Yeah, and then that wall's here. I guess what we don't know is there a way to walk through kind of where that stove is. Can you just sort of walk into the living room over here? You know? Guess we don't know that. I bet you can. Be right over here. I mean, is there a way to walk and then turn left and go into the living room? Because there's this little stove right over there. Well, anyways, I think that'll be enough for, you know, a little working on tonight, but that's pretty good progress, don't you think? Got more work to do. Thank you up there to... Yeah, the thing is, I don't like when people are in chat, like, hey, Gray, it needs to go over here, you need to go over here. I like if you can send me something or a clip or something. Then I can look at it myself and figure it out. So thank you. And thanks, Lissa up there, for sending that clip. That was pretty useful for that little portion right there. Ah. I'm sorry, I sound the way I sound sometimes because I just got to stay on the track that I'm on. And then later I can look something up. So I always ask people if you can send me your email, an email with the information, and then I'll look at it when I get done with that portion. All right, but I think this is it's pretty cool, right? I mean, look at the. Let's see, hold on. Yes, that's all the new stuff that we just put in there. But look how perfect the map overlay is for the measurements that's out there on the government website. So it's perfect. Just like that. But that mahjong table's right here. And it's weird because then there's this total open space over here. Yeah, crazy. All right, let me shut this. Let me close this. So do you guys want to see the other that cold case that was solved, or not solved, but the Immigrant Gap Jane Doe? Of course, we'll need to get the support for the channel up here. Where let's see, what are we at? Yeah. So basically, if we get another 8 channel memberships while we're doing all this, then I guess I'll donate another 5, because the 5 that I donated was from last night's show. So if we get another 8, that would be good. All right, here we go. Here we go. And if not, that's cool too. But definitely, I'd like to just kind of keep things moving along for the month. I've already given out 1,500. I want to see if I can get to a place where I can give out another 2,500. And then most is going to go to our DNA fund, but maybe we can send 500 or so into, I don't know, somewhere else. Don't know. We'll see. But we're not at a pace even anywhere near even last month, because the ad revenue and the views on my videos isn't very high. It sucks. All right, anyways. Here we go. This one's actually pretty interesting. Couldn't find the original. I looked up a lot of stuff. I even found a picture of her on Ancestry.com. It's pretty cool. After her name was given out, but here we go. Watch this. This is crazy. Looney Tunes. What the heck, girl? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. I think that might be what one of the problems was, is I forgot to put it on subscribers only. Well, I didn't forget. It's just StreamYard's defaults to that, so you have to remember. So remember to tell me, you guys, if I don't do that. I think that's why they were able to do that. Oh yeah, cool. I mean, I gotta tell you, it's hard to write on those notebooks because there's a little spine in there, and I have to kind of turn my hand and go like this. But anyways, let me use the restroom, and I'll come back. All right. All right, you guys ready? All right, this one says, the nude body of a woman was found Saturday by a passing couple just off of Highway 20 near Interstate 80 in Bear Valley. The connection, however, had been made by late Sunday night between no connection. Don't have canneries. Do you know the cannery? Hey, there we go. That's the joke. Must be a wild or Jim Lawn joke. Here we go. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canneries? And the Virgin Isles, something, not one cannery. I thought you were going to say, and the Virgin Islands don't have any virgins. Did you know that Canary Island don't have any canneries, and the Virgin Isles, same thing, not one canary. Let's see. It's a bird, yeah. I must be, you like that one, Jim? All right. Yeah. I know it's canary, the bird, you know, canary in a coal mine. Oh, wait, I did the... That's like the perfect drum roll, isn't it? It's just so, you know... roof or rim check or whatever the hell you call this. All right, anyways. No connection, however, was made by late Sunday night between the discovery and the finding of 2 teenage Sacramento girls. Yeah, I actually covered that case, weirdly. I mean, I've covered so many cases that even that was, the 2 teenage Sacramento girls' bodies south of El Dorado Hills in adjacent El Dorado County 2 weeks ago. So we covered that case. That's also 1977. An autopsy was scheduled for today. Placer County deputies said an identification and cause of death is being sought. Initial indications were, however, that the woman was strangled. Mr. and Mrs. Jim Jimenez and a Sonoma County couple were out on a Saturday afternoon stroll with their dog when they spotted the dead woman, identified now as Jane Doe. The body was lying about 30 feet off of Highway 20 and about a mile inside the Placer County line near Nevada County. Deputy Paul Martin was dispatched to the scene and called for assistance from 2 county sheriff inspectors. Deputies said fingerprints were taken at the scene and have been forwarded to the state's Department of Justice in an attempt to identify the woman, deputies said. Yeah, so they said a mile inside of Placer County. And so I have these, yeah, I think that was it. So I think this is Placer County, this red line here. So if it's inside of Placer County, yeah, it's kind of hard to make out what they're saying, because here's Highway 20, and then here's Highway 80, and then even a picture in the paper is from right over in this area, but that's north of Placer County. So if you go California _ yeah, right there. That's what this is. I can turn it off. See, that's Placer County. So I'm not sure when they say a mile inside and then next to the other county that's up here. I don't really understand that. I mean, it could be right down in this area, but then that's not near, at the 23, or Highway 20, 80 area there. All right, moving on to the next one. 2 days later, Placer County authorities were still searching Tuesday for any clues to the identity of a young woman whose body was found nude and strangled near Highway 20. A thorough search of the area about 30 feet from the highway failed to reveal any trace of clothing or jewelry. A check for fingerprint files at the California Department of Justice proved futile. The body of a 25 to 35-year-old woman was discovered late Saturday afternoon by Mr. and Mrs. Jim Jimenez of Sonoma County, who were walking their dog. Mr. and Mrs. Jim Jimenez. I wonder if I could find that. Forget it. Who were walking their dog. The woman had been dead for 2 to 6 days when she was discovered. Finger marks on her neck indicate that someone used his hands to strangle her, according to Placer County Chief Deputy Coroner Arthur Pete Abels. The pathologist who examined her Monday does not believe she was sexually assaulted. Abels said the woman had no scars or other identifying marks, but showed evidence of recent weight loss. She was wearing, and by the way, you guys, we got those little emoji things that you guys don't like? Those actually help in the algorithm. So if you guys get, I hit the button, I actually looked it up because of Paulette Leonard. She goes, hey, does that make any difference? And I looked it up, and apparently it does. I don't know. Have you ever noticed, though, we could have like 350 people watching, but then when you cut over to some other case, they go, yeah, okay, see ya, I gotta go. Even though this is more interesting, actually. So it says the body, the woman had been dead for 2 to 6 days. Finger marks on her neck indicate that she was strangled but wasn't sexually assaulted. She had no scars or identifying marks, but showed evidence of recent weight loss, so probably like her skin, the stretch marks. She was wearing orange toenail polish. The victim had short, dark brown hair, brown eyes, weighed about 140 pounds, and was about 5 feet 8 inches tall. A photo of the corpse is available at the Placer County Sheriff's Department. Jeez. It's crazy. All right, so you got that one. I mean, that's how it should be. You know what I think? When you have an unidentified person, put the damn, just, even though it's not pleasant to look at, put the picture in the paper of the person. Don't try to get somebody to draw it. They never turn out right. Okay, just put the picture of the unidentified person in the paper, as long as they're not mangled. Like if they're just not alive, kind of like Daniel Armentrout. He looked absolutely normal. And they're like, I don't know, we shouldn't put it in there. Let's just draw a picture of an alien. That's what it was, so bad. Anyways, it said, dead woman's ID remains a mystery. Placer County authorities were still searching Tuesday, this is the 22nd, for any clues to the identity of a young woman whose body was found nude and strangled near the Highway 20 Interstate 80 interchange east of Immigrant Gap. A thorough search of the area about 30 feet from the highway failed to reveal any trace of clothing or jewelry. A check of the fingerprint files at the California... You know what I think, by the way? Here's what I think. Do you guys see this right? I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't show up there, but when you pan out a little bit here, can you, let me just look right here in this small area. Can you see that little area right there? See where I'm circling? Look in that area right there. See that little blue dot that's right there? Can you guys see that? It's really small. It's right there. That little blue dot. When I go down there, it doesn't allow me... It doesn't go to an image, but that's what that's supposed to be. And I actually think that is... Somebody put that there because that's where she was found. It's right at the Highway 20 80 interchange, and it looks to be, and you can only see it if you're out about this far. See, there it is again, and it looks to be, let me zoom in on that, I can still look at it. It's right there, so let's see how many feet that is. Yeah, I mean, that's 77 feet. I'm just wondering if that's the spot. And in fact, it looks like, if you went to here, and I mean, who else would put something there? It just doesn't make sense. I think it's like right in down there. I mean, why would you put hey, look at this place? I bet you that's exactly what that is. I literally look where my pin is. I mean, where I put it. And then there's this little image thing that's right here. And it's weird how you don't see it there, but if you pan out just far enough, still you can't see it. And then there it is, right there. So that's where they have the pin. I wonder if it's around that rock. Did you guys see that a minute ago? That was sort of interesting. I didn't really think about that. But you notice how there was it drops off like a cliff here, but then right there, it sort of goes up. So I wonder if they put her right around the side of that. And it doesn't match their mile inside situation. I think they got that wrong. I bet you, in fact, that it's the other way around. Let's see what happens if I measure it from right here to the line. That's not working. Let's do... It's a 0.56 miles. So I don't know. I just don't think it's inside a mile. That would be, you'd have to get to a point where there's nothing even remotely close to that, in fact. See, there's Highway 20, and Placer's right there. That means it has to be a mile this way. If that was a half mile, that means it has to be this far in. Right there, that one's close. Let's see what that is. From here to there, 0.68. So nothing really works. So I just think that's an error in reporting, and it's right there. All right. A thorough search of the area about 30 feet from the highway failed to reveal any trace of clothing or jewelry. The body of a 25, this is pretty much the same. Finger marks on her neck indicate that someone used his hand to strangle her. Abel said that the woman had no scars or other identifying marks, but showed evidence of recent weight loss. The victim had short, dark brown hair, brown eyes, weighed about 145 pounds, and was about 5 feet 8 inches tall. All right, so that was the second. Now we go all the way to January 1st, about 10 days later. And then they have a sketch of her here. Officials still mystified, and I think this is a sketch based off of like an autopsy photo. You can kind of tell, I've seen the real one where her lips, just looks like they're literally just taking a real picture of her. Placer and El Dorado County homicide detectives are stymied in the investigation of the murder of 3 females whose bodies were discovered in remote areas. Placer County officers are having trouble because they do not know the identity of a strangled woman 25 to 35 years of age, whose nude body was found 2 weeks ago. El Dorado County authorities know the names of the 2 teenage girls who were beaten to death, but have little other information. The girls have been identified as Linda Sue Kuykendall, 15, and of Carmichael. So I actually do, like I said before, I do have that case, and I think it's like right over here, this one. It's not far away from there. And right here, see Kuykendall, Linda's Kuykendall. Look how high up over here this is. This is probably 5 years ago that we covered this. It's just really long time ago. They don't think they're connected though, but here's this one and that one, same year too, and within like 2 weeks of each other. The girls have been identified as Linda Sue Kuykendall, 15, of Carmichael, and Christine Elizabeth Riley, 16, of Rancho Cordova. Their skeletal remains were found December 9th. We were lucky, said El Dorado Sheriff Lieutenant Mike Mergen. We found some clothes near the murder scene and used dental records to identify the 2. However, 2 detectives working full-time on the double murder have not uncovered a major clue in the case. We have absolutely nothing. All we know is that the girls left one of their homes en route to another. We have nothing in between, but we believe they were hitchhiking and were picked up by their assailant, he said. Mergen said deputies are continuing to talk to the neighbors and friends in hopes of breaking the case. The girls described by Mergen and All-American teenagers whose home life was no different than anyone else. They were last known to be alive at about 1 p.m. on August 18th, so I guess that's way earlier, when they telephoned relatives and a friend saying they were going to Miss Kuykendall's home for the afternoon. They were going, no, not Miss. They were going to Miss Kuykendall's home for the afternoon. Both girls were known to have hitchhiked before, and a relative speculated that they were given a ride on Fair Oaks Boulevard. Their skeletal remains were found in an isolated area north of Latrobe Road, about 10 miles south of El Dorado Hills, nearly 4 months after they disappeared. Placer County's authorities have less to go on in the murder probe of the unidentified woman. That's who we're talking about. We have no place to start, said Placer County Sheriff Captain Donald Nunez. All we could do is have a sketch made of the head, or not the head, of the dead woman's face, is what I meant to say, and hope someone would recognize her. The woman's body was found about 30 feet off Highway 20 near Interstate 80 in the eastern part of the county. They've given up on the 1 mile into the county thing because I think that was bogus. There were no scars or tattoos on her body. She had a partial denture for her upper 4 front teeth, pierced ears, heavily calloused feet, which is interesting, right? Like heavily calloused feet. What the hell's going on with that? Pierced ears, heavily calloused feet, indicating she walked a lot or wore defective shoes and had lost weight recently. She was 5 feet 8 inches, 145 pounds, and had brown eyes and short, dark brown hair. Homicide detectives said fingerprints sent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the State Department of Justice failed to identify the woman. They said a search crew is scheduled to cover a 3-mile area around Highway 20 next week in hopes of finding personal belongings or other clues. Placer County Sheriff Coroner William A. Scott, who has been involved in dozens of murders in investigations during his 30 years in police work, said the unidentified murder victim was the most difficult case to break. You have to find out who they are before you can look for suspects. Right, but hopefully you guys collected as much as you could at the crime scene. Right, then June of 1978. So now we're 5 months after the last article. She's still Jane Doe 6 months after her death. Now 6 months since her nude body was found in a snowbank off the Highway 20 Interstate 80 interchange east of Immigrant Gap, which is only supposed to have one M in it. A young woman who was strangled to death remains known only as Jane Doe, case number 11929-77. And says Captain Arthur C. Abels of the Placer County Coroner's Office, while the remains are still being held for identification, preparations are being made to bury her under the name of Jane Doe. It really is sad. In today's modern world, 1978, this person, no one can identify her. No one seems to care, said Abels. The sheriff's officer was referring to the fact that no missing person report which matches the dead woman's description had yet been given. We have sent bulletins throughout the U.S. These were widely distributed by newspaper, radio, and television. If the woman had been reported missing anywhere in the country, Abels feels she would have been named. The woman, estimated to be between 25 and 35 years old, was found December 17th by Mr. and Mrs. Jim Jimenez of Sonoma County, who were walking their dog. She was estimated to have been dead 2 to 6 days before being discovered. Abels said while the woman had no distinguishing marks such as scars, she had dental work done, showed signs of recent weight loss, and was wearing orange nail polish on her feet. The woman had dark brown hair, about 5 inches in length, brown eyes, weighed about 145 pounds. So there's always a little extra that they give in each article. All right, so that was June. Now, November of 1978. Now, so she was buried nearly 11 months after her nude body. So they kept her out of, the grave for a long time, hoping to get an identification. But nearly 11 months after her nude, strangled body was found in a snowbank off the Highway 20 Interstate 80 interchange, east of Immigrant Gap, now they got the M out of there, a young woman known only as Jane Doe has finally been buried. Captain Arthur C. Abels, Chief Deputy Coroner of Placer County, said late last week the woman was given a pauper's burial. And it says arrangements were made throughout the chapel of the hills. I guess that's Chapel of the Hills. The burial adds just another note to the long and fruitless search to find the apparent murder victim's family and give her a name. So that's why we do the Identifinders International. That's why we've put over 100,000. So I think it's so valuable to get somebody's name back, you know. It's so huge. It's a great feeling, by the way, as a community. A lot of you weren't really around during the Daniel Armentrout days, but that was pretty amazing. We spent over 10,000 on various testing. Finally, they got the DNA sequence and led to, it was a 1960 case, maybe 61 or something, but it was a long time ago, and that was just so amazing. God, it was just, I felt so proud, you know. So, trolls, go F yourself, okay? Thank you very much. If the woman had been reported missing anywhere in the country, Abels feels they would have been named. And we have another 2 months to go, said Abels. In 1977, the coroner investigated 223 deaths late last week. Okay, the rest is just about stats. All right, you have that. Then, so here's the another sketch situation. But you can kind of tell that like this was based on a body. I don't even think this is a sketch. I think it's like a photo rendering, you know, maybe adding a little to it. And then, here we go. Let's see. So look at this. Michigan woman killed in California. This is today. In 1977, identified. Oh, man. How cool is that, you guys? We do this shit. We do it too, but I just get such a good feeling on these things. Yeah. A 30-year-old woman whose body was found dumped in a snowbank in Northern California in 1977 has been identified, and investigators continue to search for her killer. A Bay Area couple out for a walk on December 17, 1977, spotted the young woman's body near the intersection of Highway 20. And by the way, those newspaper articles, that was it. So 1978 and then today. You know, it's crazy. There was a, you know, like a NamUs profile, etc. But law enforcement quickly descended on the area and later spoke with a witness who said they saw two men in a Toyota Celica at around 1 p.m. Look how crazy this is. On that day, a witness saw two men in a Toyota Celica around 1 p.m. struggling with something heavy in the back seat in the same area where the victim was found. According to San Francisco Gate, Placer County Sheriff investigator Johnny Smith recalled, "We were so close. We were 3 hours behind being dumped." Well, I mean, but she was dead a week before, so it wouldn't have made any difference. In a news release, investigators with the Placer County Sheriff's Office said the woman, who became known as Immigrant Gap Jane Doe, had been strangled to death. A composite sketch, as well as her fingerprints and dental records, were sent to scores of other law enforcement agencies, believing she might have been a sex worker. Her photo was distributed to every brothel in Nevada. Despite extensive efforts over the next several decades, Immigrant Gap Jane Doe's identity remains mystery. Now, earlier today, I saw a sketch attempts of the actual two guys, but I don't know where it went. I saw it when I was looking at it. I thought I saved it, and I didn't see him. But she was ultimately buried in an unmarked grave that was exhumed in 2011, so investigators could retrieve DNA samples. By 2018, they had obtained a partial DNA profile, but it was not suitable for genetic genealogy, investigators said. Then in 2025, after additional portions of her remains were tested, investigators were able to produce a DNA profile with sufficient information that a genealogical investigation became feasible. Officials at the Placer County Sheriff's Office began working the case with the nonprofit organization Moxie Forensic Investigations, which specializes in genetic genealogy and missing person research. Well, that's the same thing as Identifiers International. In 2026, Immigrant Gap Jane Doe was officially identified as Melinda Pip Beardsley. So as soon as I read that, I went, oh, let me go look. I went on to Ancestry.com, and here's her. That's her right there. So that's her. And then if you take the, again, it just sketches and shit don't work, man. I mean, it's just, I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, maybe somebody, if you saw that, might think that, but I don't know. That'd be tough. But that's her right there. This was on, and that's what it says on Ancestry. Isn't that crazy? It says Melinda Pip Beardsley. So her name has been out there. It's in different places. And then it actually said that she died in 1995, which is crazy. That means they had her, pronounced dead by a judge. Born in 1946, she was born in October of 1946 in a rural Michigan in an area just north of Detroit. She was the youngest of 6 children and was described by a sister as an energetic little girl who was always on the move. Marriage license records from 1964. See, I thought I kind of looked for that. I saw that one. I wasn't sure that was actually her. Show Beardsley. Let's see, 46. Yeah, so she must have been only like 17 or 18. Married a 23-year-old man based in Los Angeles County. Though the couple quickly divorced and he was remarried by 1969. SF Gate reported. And then it says, Beardsley did have a child, but so far investigators have not identified the father or the child. Wow, that's weird. So not even on Ancestry, huh? A year before, she was known to have been working as a server in Carson City. Her name appears in a 1976 edition of the Reno Gazette Journal for a DUI arrest. I thought I also saw her name like for school when she was like in grade school. I didn't put it out there. That information allowed sheriff investigators in Placer County to backtrack her whereabouts, ultimately leading them to one of her relatives and a DNA match that led to identification. This identification hopefully provides long-awaited answers to Beardsley's family, but the work is not done. You got that, and then see if there's any difference in some of these other. See, that's that. See that picture right there? See, look right where this is, right? I mean, look. I mean, it almost feels like that has to. Look, it's the same shot that they have in there, right? It's a little bit further up, but I mean, just barely. It's right here. Yeah, it's actually, yeah. Now they have it. That shot they have is from right here. Like that. But hey, if you're out there and you're somebody that hasn't supported my channel in a while and you feel like you want to, that would be great. Thank you. She was ultimately buried in an unmarked grave that was exhumed in 2011 so investigators could retrieve DNA samples. Then in 2025, after additional portions of her remains were tested, investigators were able to produce DNA. I think this is really similar to the last one, so I'm going to get rid of that. Now let's see this one. This one is Newsweek. There's a different picture of her right there. The family of a California mom who went missing 49 years ago have finally discovered the grim truth behind her sudden disappearance. Melinda Beardsley, born in 1946 and known to friends and family as simply Pip, had been living in the Nevada area during the mid-1970s when she went missing. For decades, her whereabouts remained a mystery to her family. That changed the day they were contacted by Placer County Sheriff's Office in California with a request. Since December 17, 1977, investigators from PCSO had been working on a chilling involved murder case. A woman found dead in a snowbank in the Immigrant Gap area of Placer County, strangled to death. Despite their extensive investigative efforts at the time, the woman's identity was unknown. In 1978, the PCSO distributed approximately 300 copies of the victim's fingerprints and identifying information to major law enforcement agencies across the U.S. and Canada, as well as the FBI, but no matches were located. With no formal identification made, the victim became known as Immigrant Gap Jane Doe. Jane Doe is placeholder name. Yeah, we know that. Despite the lack of breakthrough, forensic techniques continue to evolve as the years rolled by and the PCO continued to explore fresh investigative avenues. In 2006, the victim's fingerprints were again submitted to the FBI for comparison. Once again, though, investigators received no matches. Then in 2011, the PCO exhumed the victim. They got better DNA. It was only in 2025 when additional portions of the remains were tested and produced and then produced a DNA profile that was sufficient for information for further investigation. The confirmation finally gave Beardsley's family the answers they needed, but now one more answered question remains. The PCO is now actively investigating Beardsley's homicide. Does that go to something? Let's see. 52 years later, DNA test. Oh, that's a different. Not sure they had that click on there, but that's another picture of her right there. Yeah, it's weird. I swear to God, I saw a place out there where somebody drew. There was sketches of the people that did this, like dumped her off in that Celica they were talking about. And then here's her. There's actually a Wikipedia about her, and believe it or not, I was reading it and I was thinking, man, because when I was looking at some of the early articles or trying to look up how, when you look up on newspapers.com, you have to type in stuff like woman's body found, and then highway, blah, 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 blah. Well, while I was doing that, it kept popping up like the Hillside Strangler, which is, I think, Northern California, is at the same time frame. So look at this. The Hillside Strangler, there's two guys. So doesn't that sort of stand out a little bit when you go, okay, because most of the time this is a one-man operation, right? These kind of cases. And so you got this one where there's two guys in the Hillside Strangler, and then there was two guys that sort of, dumped her body, Melinda's body, off on the side of the road. That just seems really, like strange that right around the same exact time frame. Because look at the dates on these. They don't seem to think they're related, but look at December 14th, Kimberly Martin. That's right around that time. 1977. This one's February of 1978, so they're still active. Look at these. Or not, that wasn't it. It was up. These are the victims up here. So anyways, it looks like when I looked up this, it seems like they did try to compare the two. Oh, they were Southern California. Oh, like more like California. Okay, well, they could have gone up there. I thought it was more of the. So I guess it wasn't San Francisco. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just guessing. Let's see. Where was that one? Let me look at it. It's weird too because they thought she was a sex worker. Yeah, I guess Ventura is down there. Yeah, it's really close to Nevada. Who was the killer that was in Northern California? Yeah, I guess it is pretty far down there. And this is not really northern California. It's just sort of up in the, near Reno, really. I don't know why I thought I was thinking north, but now I do remember, like on the hillsides up in like in LA area, it seemed like. Yeah, I don't know if it's the Golden State Killer. He always killed people in their homes and then left them in there and did weird shit. Let's see. Let me get to the back to this though. So this one says, at approximately 4 p.m. on December 17th, 1977, which is just 3 days. Like, it almost seems like when that other girl was killed by the Hillside Stranglers, it's right around that time that this lady was killed. Because they said 3 to 6 days, right? So if you go back to the 17th and then the 14th is 3 days before that. After the discovery of the body, a witness came forward and claimed to have seen the body being dumped about 3 hours before it was found by 2 white men in a Toyota Celica. That's a really poorly written sentence. Claimed to have seen the body being dumped about 3 hours before it was found by 2 white men in a... That's not correct writing there. The passengers of the Celica was seen attempting to drag something heavy out of the back seat. These men have never been identified or charged for the murder. Investigators consider the possibility of active serial killers at the time being suspects such as Ted Bundy and the Hillside Strangler, though both were ruled out. Lack of forensic evidence at the scene lead investigators to believe that the woman had been killed elsewhere and then dumped. Yes, of course. An autopsy on the body was performed on December 19, 1977. I think it's weird that she wasn't sexually assaulted. I mean, she was nude, it seems odd. The autopsy determined that the woman had been killed about 2 to 6 days before being dumped. Marks on the woman's neck suggested that cause of death was manual strangulation. There was also evidence of trauma to the head. Despite being found nude, there was no evidence of sexual assault. So just no evidence, I guess. Pathologists noted that the woman had recently underwent significant weight loss, as indicated, there you go, stretch marks, there you go, on her abdomen and breast. It was theorized this weight loss could have been caused by a prior pregnancy. She also was noted to have heavily calloused feet, which indicated that she may have walked a lot and worn a cheap, improperly fitted shoes in life. There was also some physical evidence to indicate she was a prostitute in life. Police bulletins with a forensic reconstruction of the woman were circulated state and nationwide. Fingerprints were pulled from the head and sent to California Department of Justice, etc. Up here it says, Immigrant Gap Jane Doe was formerly an unidentified murder victim whose body was found December 17, 1977, but she is now... You can't even go to the, like, NamUs and the Doe Network are already off, you know. So NamUs and the Doe Network announced that the woman had been identified in 2026. On March 18th, 2026, the identity of the victim was released to the public as Melinda Pip Beardsley. Anyways, it just, I had the Hillside Strangle because it just seemed like two guys, which is kind of rare, you know. You got to be honest. I mean, how many serial killers? Hey, by the way, what do you guys first think when you see this picture right there? First thing I thought of was Godzilla. But they say up here, your right brain, you see turtle, and you see a rabbit but I see Godzilla. I mean, that's just all that looks like. You know, I mean, that's it, right? There's no turtle, there's nothing. Maybe that was the joke. I don't know. Oh, by the way, this was pretty good right here. So anyways, that was great news, great news. But here's the meme of the day. Iran said, I didn't think you had it in you. And then the U.S. said back to Iran, I'm your huckleberry. And then Iran said, my fight's not with you. And then the U.S. said, I beg to differ. We started a game we never got to finish. Death to America, remember? And then Iran said, I was just fooling about. And the U.S. said, I wasn't. That's so good. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. You know what's funny is I just watched that last night again, just tuned in near the end, you know, and they start taking out everybody. And it was like, I don't know, it was pretty good. And then this came across my Facebook today, and I was like, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm your hook. You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy. Yeah. I thought I did a pretty good rendition there, didn't you think? I wasn't. I tried to do his the way he said it on the movie. Yeah. Anyways, cool extra story there, right? I like doing it like that, where you go back in time and you go through all the, you know, articles from when back in the day, and everybody's like, wow, that sucks. And then boom, you get the answer, you know? I was just fooling around. I wasn't. Yeah, I got to tell you, I've said this before, but that was Val Kilmer's best acting performance that he ever did. In fact, I think he sort of almost stole the show from the, was it Russell or whoever the hell the other guy? He's good too, right? But this guy, man, he was so good. I mean, the way he had like tuberculosis, and just the way he pulled that acting off, and just the whole damn thing, it was just unbelievable. He should have got, I don't know, an Academy Award for that. But you know what's weird? When you listen to him, when they interviewed him about it, he doesn't even sound the same at all. He didn't even sound like anything. He's just a totally different person. That's always so disappointing. Because then you just want Val Kilmer to be that guy, you know? Yeah. That was such a great, that scene. We talked about the other day, but just the way it was dark, and he walks up, and the guy's like, I didn't think you had it in you. And then as he comes into the light, that's when you could see that it wasn't the guy he was looking for, And then you could see he was a little bit scared, and then it turned out for what it was. My hypocrisy only goes so far. Yeah. Yeah, I think that movie makes him a legend. I mean, like, literally, other than that, sure, he was in Top Gun and all that shit, but, some other funny movies and whatnot, but that alone puts him into that legendary category. Oh, yeah, you gotta watch that, Alley Cake. It's on all the time now on TNT. Like, they just keep playing it. I mean, it just seems like it's one of those movies when it's on, you kind of keep watching some of the scenes again and whatnot. Dana Delaney's in there. What was the character's name that he had the duel with? I forgot his name. It's like Ringo. That's right. He did good too. I think Ringo was second. He was right up there. Yeah, I just said that. Ringo was. That guy was great in Aliens, and that movie. I think he was the second or third best guy in there. You got it. Kurt Russell was great, but so was that guy, the guy that played Ringo. It's so weird. They're so different in real life. All of these guys, I always want the guy that played Ringo to be more like how he was in there or in the movie Aliens. He was great in that movie. And it's funny, the movie Aliens had Ringo and Bill, what's his name, Paxton, I think. And they were both in that movie. It's crazy. What makes them? It's weird how sometimes you see these movies with really great movies that have the same two people in them, or two or three sometimes. Anyways, you guys seem uninterested again. The person who typed in Ringo, that was like 5 minutes ago. All right. It's like talking to a brick wall. You guys got to remind me to, before the show starts, to put it on subscriber-only mode. Yeah, we only had 30 different people support the tonight, but at least we got there. That's about 15 less than normal. Yeah, I know, but it's like, the thing is there's still no comments for 2 or 3 minutes. So you should still be hearing something that I'm saying before, I don't know. Wasn't he in Naked Gun? Wasn't that him? Or not Naked Gun, yeah. It was some movie where he had a guitar. I think it was like Naked Gun, right? Wasn't that what it was called? Yeah, I know you're delaying, but I'm still talking, during the delay time. It just means that you're hearing me 30 seconds later, but it's still, the conversation should still be going. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how that works. I'm tired. So thanks to Alley Cake, and then we had Mama for a coffee, gifted a membership. Then Deco Trash. Well, he was Iceman, not Maverick. Deco Trash. Alley Cake. No, I wasn't thinking of Maverick. Yeah, he was in Naked Gun. Or no, Top Secret. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's this one right here. Remember that? Right there. I mean, he sang and everything. It was in a show called Top Secret. I thought of like, Airplane and shit because the same guy's in there. It was this one right here. See that? It was a 1984 action comedy film written and directed by Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker. Yeah. Yeah, I just said Top Secret. Yeah. So I looked it up. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense then. Your your chat has to go all the way up to Oregon. Man, that's... I guess if I was people from Israel were watching, it would be... They wouldn't even comment till tomorrow. All right, anyways, thank you to... let's do it again. Start off with Phyllis Watson. And then Eve Loves God. That was 8:33. Then 8:37, Wild Bill Wassman. Then 4 minutes later, Mama for Coffee. Then 6 minutes after that, Wild Bill Wassman. Then 1 minute after that, Alley Cake. Then 10 minutes later, we had Mama for Coffee. Then Deco Trash at the same minute. And then in the same minute, Alley Cake. Then I gifted the 5 memberships that I owed from the night before. Then Michelle H. gifted 1. Then Coco Love gifted 1. Then Phyllis Watson again. And then we had Marty did a buy me a coffee. And then I think we had a Sandy Shirley PayPal. So Phyllis Watson, and then we had Wild Bill Wassman, the man who keeps things alive when nothing's happening. And Karen W. Then Alley Cat gifted 1, and then Chris O'Connell gifted 5. Then Chris O'Connell did a super chat, and then 10 channel memberships. You guys see that? That's crazy. Thank you. All right, and then let's see, Wild Bill Wassman, and then She Fell in Love. I'm gonna have to let's go back up to this joke again. I think it's coming up, right? And then Alley Cake, and then Wild Bill Wassman, and then Chris O'Connell towards Bale, and then Chris O'Connell with a cat eye. Man, we might not have made the goal. Maybe almost to the goal without you in there. And then Wild Bill Wassman, and then To Girl gifted 10. Then I gifted 5 more. Then Chris O'Connell, and then the last super chat or anything that we got was at 10:19. Which is an hour ago. Isn't that weird how there's always this moment where it just like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what the reason for that is, but it just goes. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? And the Virgin Isles, same thing. No one canary. No one. What's the last part of that joke? I guess I'm not getting that one. I kept trying to read it. And the Virgin Islands, same thing. Not one. I know it's got to be a sexual thing related to. Let's see. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Right? And then it said, and the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one canary. Oh, I see. Like just a bird on the next one. What do you mean? Just tell me what it is. Why do you have to say bah ha ha? Don't tell me. Just tell me what it is. It's easy. And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one. What do you mean? But what does it mean? No virgins? I don't get it. I don't really understand that. I don't get that last part for some reason. Let me see if I can figure it out. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Right? Or canaries or canaries. Oh wait, canaries. And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one canary. Not one. The Virgin Isles. Oh wait, the Virgin Isles, not one. Not one canary. Well, I know they're virgins, so they don't have any kids, but I just don't really get that. What the meaning is there? I don't get it. I don't get it. And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one canary. But it doesn't say virgin. Not. What do you mean, not one virgin? What do you mean? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I get most of them. This is one I'm just not sure what it's trying to say. Because sometimes they're written so poorly that you just kind of... The joke is they can't say not one virgin. What? Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Or, just canaries, right? And the Virgin Isles, same thing, not one canary. Ah, man, I don't get it. Yeah, but what do you mean it's in place of virgin? I mean, how are we throwing that in there? You say canary is in place of virgin. I don't get it. Not one canary in either. But can't say the same about the Virgin Isles. Did you know the canary... Man, I don't get it, man. I mean, I get what you're trying to type in there. You said no canaries, canary, no canaries, Canary Island. Same with Virgin Islands, not... Man, that was the worst explanation I've ever heard. Yeah, I know. Timothy Cecil, hey, we're on the same page, man. I have no clue what the hell this means. It's ridiculous. Explain it better. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I definitely don't get jokes. I said that. I mean, I get most jokes, but this one, I'm not getting it. I was thinking maybe it was a play on words, but I'm not getting... What's the play on word? Give me the word that's a play on word. What do you mean canaries in place of virgin? And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one virgin. That doesn't even make any sense. I think I'm being punked here. I think I'm being punked. Somebody tell the joke in the way where it's being explained. I don't think it'll dawn on me. There's no canaries in the Canary Islands, but There aren't any in the Virgin Isles either, meaning virgins. What? What the hell are you talking about? What the hell does that even mean? That doesn't even make any sense. Let's see. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? In the Virgin Isles, the same thing. Not one canary. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I get what I looked for the play on the word, so it's like, did you know the Canary Islands? I'm not going to sleep until I get this explained. But there could be virgins in the Canary Islands. What? Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Did you know the Canary Islands don't have... You're talking about birds, right? Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? So here it is. The Canary Islands don't have any canaries. And then you say, and the Virgin Isles, you would think would say, don't have any virgins. But it says, do not have one canary. What does it mean, the not one? Yeah, that'll do it. Because you guys are shitty at explaining jokes, man. It's just like, my God. Unbelievable. Let's see. Wait, I have to go over here. Oh, hell, I don't know how to get all the way up to the... Yeah, it was so long ago, it's too far off the screen. Viewer activity. Oh, I can go down there. There we go. That's a good idea. Let me try that. Maybe that can... Well, what are you saying there? I mean, I think that's... No, we're shitty because you don't explain it well, Wild Bill Lossman. Yeah. I said you don't explain it. You explain it shittily. Okay, here we go. And just because you get it doesn't mean it's a good joke. Okay. Let's see. What is it? Okay. Jesus. All right, here we go. Let's see what it says in here. Yeah, see you later. Rude.
That joke is a classic misdirection.
Okay, here we go. Let's do it.
And it almost works because it sounds logical at first. Here's the twist. The Canary Islands were not named after canary birds. They were actually named after dogs, from the Latin Canaria insulae, meaning islands of the dogs. There are canary birds there now, but they got their name from the islands, not the other way around. The Virgin Islands do have people, obviously, and the name comes from Christopher Columbus, who named them after Saint Ursula and her legendary 11,000 virgins, not because the islands were literally inhabited by virgins. So, the joke flips expectations. You think it's pointing out a weird coincidence, but it's actually just playing on misunderstood names. If you want to sharpen it into a punchier version for your style, a little more edge. Did you know the Canary Islands don't even have canaries? Yeah. And the Virgin Islands? Don't even get me started. Not a single canary there, either. That last line is what makes it hit, because it doubles down on the wrong assumption on purpose.
Oh, Jesus. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's a better version of it. Let's see. Did you know Canary Islands don't even have canaries? Yeah. And the Virgin Islands don't even get me started. Not a single canary there either. Wow. That is... Yeah, I guess it's just, I mean, most of the time I can get these ones, but this one isn't one of the ones that makes sense to me. Remember that joke the other day? It didn't make any sense at all the way it was written. And then we had to rewrite it, and then it was funny. Well, good for you. I'm glad you guys totally get it. But what's weird is I don't get it, and you guys try to make me feel like it's stupid that I don't get the joke. You know, I really don't see it. I don't see what the funny part is. Jessica Shoebox said that makes little sense to none to me. Right. All right, let's see. We've got the Canary Island are known as the Island of Dogs. What? He just explained that in here. What does that have to do with anything? Right. Didn't sound like it. Looked like I was getting trashed up there. Like, you don't get it? Wow. You know? Well, you guys don't get a lot of the stuff I talk about, so, you know. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the joke is, you know. Let me see. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? All right, so they don't have any canaries, even though it's called Canary Islands. And then the Virgin Isles, same thing. Where you'd think, don't have... I mean, I get the... Okay, is this what the joke is? It's not even really that funny, right? So it goes like this. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Meaning, it's called the Canary Islands, but it doesn't have any canaries in it. And the Virgin Isles, it's the same thing. So your mind would go, hey, there's no virgins there. But then you say, there's not one canary. And you're like, oh, I thought you were going to say there was no virgins there, right? That's the joke? That's shit. That's a shit joke. It's not even... Is that really the joke? I already got that a long time ago. I thought that was like... I was just like... That's not even funny. I mean, I got that like 20 minutes ago I got that thing. And I couldn't... And now that is actually it... That is horrible. God, that is... It's like, it's just... Oh my God, that's the joke? That's hilarious. I mean, I already said that like 20 minutes ago. I was thinking, okay, yeah, so you were thinking that maybe there's no virgins, but why are they saying not one canary? And that's the joke, that you're just... you were... expecting them to say, and the Virgin Isles, the same thing, not one virgin. But then they say, well, there's no canaries there either. Whoa. Wow. I thought it had to be better because you guys were so excited about it. I figured there had to be something in there that is way better. Man, how disappointing is that? I agree, Jessica. That is a shit joke. That thing was... I already got that part. Like, but I figured, okay, there must be something else here, right? Like, canary, there's some kind of play on, like, not one canary, there's something that sounds like something else. It is a letdown. Yikes. That is just, I'm gonna type it in here. But what a crappy joke. It's not really even funny.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That joke is pretty weak. The problem is, it sounds like it's building towards something clever, but the payoff is basically just, ha ha, I repeated the same wrong logic twice. There's no real twist, no escalation, no surprise. Just wordplay that doesn't quite land. It's like a setup
exactly right.
Without a punch. If you wanted
That's
to
right.
fix
You
it
hear that, Wild
and
Bill?
actually
Come
make
on,
it hit,
listen to this.
you need one of two things. One, a real twist.
Right.
Did you know the Canary Islands don't have canaries? Yeah. Turns out the birds are named after the islands, which means somewhere out there is a guy who saw a yellow bird and thought, yep, that looks like a dog. Now, there's absurdity. Two, or lean into the stupidity, which actually works better.
Come on.
Did you know the Canary Islands
got
don't
the
have
joke a
canaries?
long time
And the
ago.
Virgin Islands? Same thing. Not a single canary. I checked thoroughly. That version works because it commits to...
I guess this is our Thanksgiving moments in here. But listen, I got that. I already understood that was something. I just felt like I must be, it doesn't have any chuckle factor to me. So I thought, man, I'm missing something else. What is it? What is it, you guys? And it turns out it's exactly, nobody even explained it that way. What you say is, hey, did you know Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Therefore, then you go, and the Virgin Isles, the same thing. Therefore, they have no virgins. But we're cleverly going to type in, they also don't have any canaries. Ba-dum-bum, bang! Wow. Yeah. It's just, it is. Hey, Jessica, that's not even just your opinion. That's a fact. I mean, I'm shocked. Like, you guys all got it. And we're like, yeah, but I was thinking, okay, but I must be missing something because it's not making me laugh at all. It's not really a joke where, Yeah, so the first bit's true, but maybe the Virgin Islands, it isn't true that there's no virgins on that island, right? Yeah, it's like, if you could play that backwards, you might do that. Wow, that's disappointing. I was hoping that I could be explained, have it explained to me where there was this really meaningful thing that popped up that was like, oh man, I get it now. But there just wasn't. Wild Bill's looking at me. He's steaming. He wants to punch me right through the screen. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's so lame that it's funny. Hey, everybody, did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? And the Virgin Isles, don't you know? The same thing. Let me really get you here, everybody. They don't have any... Not one canary. Okay, there you go. Look at Jessica Shoebox. Look at Jessica Shoebox's face. It's okay. It's okay. I was getting frustrated because I thought there had to be something better. I mean, I already got that element there. I really thought there had to be something that I'm missing. Come on, somebody else tell another joke. Does anybody have something else? We can't end on that one. That was so shitty. How about this? Tell us a great joke. Let's see what he's got.
All right, here's one that actually lands. I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug. Simple, clean,
We already
and
did
the
that
twist
one. That was
hits
yesterday.
immediately. If you want something a little darker, more your channel vibe, I started a new job as a crime scene cleaner. It's not as bad as it sounds. But first day, my boss said, don't get attached. Want me to full roast? True crime humor style next?
I don't really, that's so funny. Did somebody use ChatGPT? Because we had this joke yesterday. No, I want just jokes. I did think you guys were better
All
than
right,
that.
let's
I
stack a few
thought
that
you guys
actually hit.
were like...
Mix of clever, dark, and dumb, the good kind. 1. Clean and clever. I asked my doctor if I could administer my own anesthetic. He said, sure, knock yourself out. 2. Quick hitter. I told my computer I needed a break. It said, no problem, I'll go to sleep. Must be nice. 3. Dark, your lane. I watched a documentary on how ships are put together. Riveting. 4. Slightly darker. I have a fear of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over it. 5. Dumb, but effective. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. 6. True crime adjacent vibe. The detective said, we found the suspect's DNA at the scene. I said, wow. He left his resume too. 7. One more dark twist. I used to be indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure. If you want, I can tailor a batch specifically for your YouTube tone, like Coburger roast style.
I was giving you guys credit. I was like, wait a minute. You know, there's got to be, you're onto something, you all get it, and I'm sitting here and I'm just like, whoa, so and I don't get it. The problem is the thing that was the joke was just right there. You see it. It's obvious. But it didn't make me have even the slightest bit of like a chuckle or smile or anything. And it's because it just wasn't funny at all. But I appreciate people putting in the jokes. But man, you got to have a little better ones than that. That's just... Man, that's weird. That actually would make you laugh. And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one canary. I mean, basically, if you were going to try to explain a joke to somebody, you'd say, did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? So when you say Virgin Islands, the person's going to think that you're going to say there's no virgins on the island, but instead they again say it also doesn't have any canaries. You get it? There you go. Oh, really? What's the original writing? What's the actual joke then? Do you know it? That's pretty funny though. Oh man, I thought like, man, you guys, and you didn't. None of you explained it well enough. Like that was so simple, the way I just said it. Well, hey Davey, write it the right way. What is the right way to do it? Go ahead, let's hear it. Anyways, thank you guys out there. We always get Wild Bill Wassman, Chris O'Connell, and Phyllis Watson, and everybody else who did kept the ball rolling during the show. Oh, was she supposed to bail you? Well, I'm just trying to say, it's not. It was, apparently it made most of you laugh. Canary put his phone in airplane mode, but it didn't fly. So now he doesn't trust technology anymore, but the Virgin still does. Okay. That's really... Yeah, it's still not funny. Canary put his phone in airplane mode, but it didn't fly. Right. So now he doesn't trust. So it didn't work when he put it in airplane mode. It didn't fly. And so now he doesn't trust technology anymore. But the Virgin still does. That doesn't even... That's just... Where's the one up there? Somebody said it was written wrong. I want to see it written right. Yeah, when she did the little flat face. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's good. That made me laugh. Yeah, well, let's just... Canary jokes just suck. They do. Yeah. There it is, everybody. That's the truth right there. That is the truth. Canary jokes just suck. And then, I don't know. Come on, does somebody else have a joke? Let's get some good ones coming in here. Just for the end of the show here. Wait a second. Okay, I'm going to do this riddle here, and nobody type in any answers as we're going, okay? None of you type in any answers as we're going. Just do it all in your head. Do you understand? Everybody, do you understand? Do not type in anything in the comment section as I'm telling you this. All right? All right, pick a number between 1 and 9. All right? So, for example, if you pick the number, you might pick the number 7, right? Now multiply that number, let's see. Let me try to do it again. Pick a number between 1 and 9. And now multiply that number times 9, all right? So take the number that you just picked. So if you have a 2, and then you multiply it times 9, that would be 18, right? All right, now add those two numbers together. So if it's 18, you add the 1 and the 8 together, right? You guys doing that? So write it down. Now, once you got that, subtract 5 from it. All right, just subtract 5. Now, come up with the corresponding letter of the alphabet. So A is 1, B is 2, 3 is C, etc., right? Now come up with a country that starts with that letter. All right? So a country that starts with that letter. So if it was C, it's Canada. All right. Now take the last letter in the country's name and come up with an animal. Right? Now come up with the last letter in the animal's name, come up with a color. All right? So for those of you who are doing it right, just realize there are no orange kangaroos in Denmark. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, if you see, that's the thing. If you're shitty at math, the whole joke doesn't work with you. Right. Well, then you didn't do it right, Songbird. You didn't do it right. So for the people who are actually following along, you got it right. All right. And this is how it's supposed to work. I'll tell you so you can use the same joke on your friends. Yeah, that means you didn't do the math. If you're shitty at math, you can't do it. So when you pick a number between 1 and 9, let's say you pick 4, right? Then you multiply the number times 9, and you get 36. Then you add the 3 and the 6 together, you get 9, right? Then you subtract 5, you get 4. Then you take this corresponding letter of the alphabet, which is a D, every single time. You can't avoid it. Then you say, what's the country that starts with that letter? And you say Denmark. Or, you might say Dubai, but most people say Denmark. That's just the odds of it. And then when you say Denmark, it ends with the letter K. What animal starts with the letter K? Well, almost everybody says kangaroo, but a few clowns will say koala. All right, but it's usually kangaroo. And then the last letter in kangaroo is an O, and most people say orange. So then you say, hey, there's no orange kangaroos in Denmark. And that's the way the joke works. So if you came up with -3 or 3, that means you didn't do the math correct. None of you did it correct if you typed that shit in. Every single answer is, so it's not random at all. Listen to this. So if you pick a 7, right? 7 times 9 is 63. You add the 6 and the 3 together, it comes out to 9. If you pick a 2, you multiply that times 9, that's 18. You add the 1 and the 8 together, it's a 9. You pick a 3, you multiply that times 9, you get 27. You add the 2 and the 7 together, that's 9. Do you get it? There's no option for other than 9 out of the first part of the joke. Do you get it? It didn't. It didn't work for you, Songbird. Yeah, right. You said that, but up above you said -3. Somebody said. Yeah, you did it with number 3, 27, right? Yeah, you got it right. I'm talking about. I think it was to girl. How did you get -3? What the? Well, then you got it wrong. That means you didn't do it correct, Liam. It's impossible to come up with lion. It's impossible. All right? Don't you understand that? The math part of the joke lands on a 4 every single time. Okay, do it again. Pick a number between 1 and 9. Go ahead, pick one. Just pick a number. Now multiply that number times 9. What do you guys get? Type it in. Now type it in. What do you get? Go ahead. You pick a number between 1 and 9 and multiply it times 9. Right, so 45, 54. When you add those two together, what do you get? When you add the two numbers you got, what do you get? Every one of you gets 9, right? Ah, jeez. How do you get 108, Songbird? What the hell's wrong with you? What's going on? Right, so then you subtract 5. Yeah, you started with 7. You multiply it times 9. That's 63. You add the 6 and the 3 together. What do you get? How do you add 5 and a 4 together and get 108? I didn't say multiply it times 2. It's pick a number between 1 and 9, multiply it times 9, and then add the two numbers together that you get in the result. Do you see? So if it was 87, you would add 15. It would be 15, right? So if you do it correctly, it's 9 every single time. You get it? So now if you subtract 5, it's not random at all. This is 100%. So now subtract 5, right? They don't qualify. You get it? There you go. Why don't koalas count as bears? Because they don't qualify. Yeah, get it? Qualify. All right, so it's 9. Now subtract 5. What do you get? No, what do you mean then added 4? Nobody told you to add 4. Listen to the joke again. The joke is, pick a number between 1 and 9. I remember getting so frustrated trying to do this. Pick a number between 1 and 9. Multiply that times 9. Now add the two resulting numbers together. Then you subtract 5. So, oh my God. Oh my God. What in the hell is going on here? You subtract 5 and you get a 4, right? You have to get 4 if you are listening and do the math correctly. Right, so it has to be 4. Right, so up there we say I picked 5, then times 9, right, 45. Then you added 4. What 4? Why'd you add 4 to it? I didn't tell you to add 4. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I get what you're saying. No, you did it right, Tigirl. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't understand your explanation. So you said I picked 5 times 9, 45, then you add the 4 and the 5, and you got 9. Yeah, that's correct. All right, so it is correct. You got 9. Now you subtract 5. What do you get? You get a 4, right? Now pick the corresponding letter of the alphabet. I even try to help you out. I go A is 1, B is 2, 3 is C, etc. Right? And then you go, oh, okay, yeah, D. I got it. D. I got D. Right? And then you say, well, what country starts with that name? Now, 99% of people out there say Denmark. Now, some people will say, well, I would have said Dubai, and they're full of crap. They wouldn't have said Dubai. Everybody says Denmark. That's just what it is, right? And then once you, you say Denmark, then you take the last letter in the country, Denmark, right? And that, let's see. What animal starts with the letter K? Now, almost everybody says kangaroo, right? I mean, what else are you going to say? Oh, koala, Gray. I said koala. Okay, give me a break. It's kangaroo, right? And then the last letter in kangaroo is an O. Now, what color do you immediately think of when you hear the letter O? Go ahead. What is it? The girl said cat, spelled. You wouldn't have thought that. I know that you want to type it in and be cool, but you wouldn't have said that. You would have said Denmark, right? So Denmark, and then kangaroo, orange. And then at the end you say, well, just remember, there's no orange kangaroos in Denmark. And for the people who did it correctly, it's trippy. It freaks you out. Because it's like, how in the hell did you know exactly what I was thinking? You were forced to come up with the 4, but it's still somewhat, it's like a 90% chance that you're going to say Denmark and then kangaroo and then orange, But some people don't do it. But it actually works really good if you get somebody who's paying attention. It works really well. It's good. It's a good one. Yeah, that's right. Hopefully some of you got it. You got it right. Did some of you follow along and then you were like, whoa, that's crazy? Or did most of you not do the math correct and were on like the letter G? All right, cool. I'm glad some of you got it, did it right. But that's why I tell people to keep it in your head, because when I see somebody type in like 17, I'm already like frustrated, because they're going to get an 8. Subtract 5, they got a C. Oh, Canada. And then my answer has to be, well, just remember, there's no aqua, either koalas or cats or, and then you just go on and on and on. You just got to do the one that has it all, man. Yeah. So just remember, try to do it with your friends and see what they say. My dad taught me the time still. Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe that's the key. Like, if you can't quickly do the time scale, I can do them all, We have all... It's really easy. You just do it really quick. You go, pick a number between 1 and 9. All right, multiply that times 9. All right, now take the resulting 2 numbers that you have and add them together. For example, if you have 15, you get 6. All right, now subtract 5. All right, now come up with the corresponding letter of the alphabet with the resulting number there. A is 1, B is 2, etc. All right, great. Now, come up with a country that starts with that letter's name. Excellent. Now come up with an animal that starts with the last letter in that country's name. Awesome. Now come up with a color that starts with the last letter in the animal's name. Excellent. Now just remember, there's no orange kangaroos in Denmark. Thank you very much. That's what I should have done. I should have done, let's see, what I should have done was, let's go back to that joke again. Hold on a second. Where the hell was that thing? Ah, man, it's got to be over here somewhere. Oh, yeah, down here. There it is. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? So when I tell you that the Virgin Islands don't have something, what would you think that would be? The Virgins, right? But no, they too don't have any canaries. That's actually the way I just said it was funnier, wasn't it? I mean, you gotta admit that was funnier than what they got. Come on, look at that. That was great. That was better. Let's do it again. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? Wow. So what do you think the Virgin Islands don't have? Well, you'd be wrong if you'd said virgins, because they also don't have canaries. Can I get a boom, chakalaka? That was 100 times better. Don't you admit? I told my doctor I broke my leg in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places. You don't have to say 2 places again. See, to girl, when you type 2 again, you just have to say, I told my doctor I broke my legs in 2 places. He told me to stop going there. Or he told me to stop going to those places, not the 2 places. You know what I mean? Like, it just... Or, you know, the one with, what was his name? Wild Bill Wasson probably knows it. What's that wrestler's name? He's going, why do you think I know the wrestler's name? Rowdy Roddy Piper. What was that movie he was in? It was called They Live or some shit. It was the stupidest movie yet in the world, but he said, you can kick ass and chew bubble gum. And he says, I'm going to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of bubble gum. See, that's too much, right? All you had to do is say, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum, right? You just go with the gum. You know, you don't need to see bubble gum again. That was a pretty good one, though. I told my doctor I broke my leg in 2 places. He said, don't go there anymore. I broke my leg in 2 places. He said, stop going to those 2 places. You have to say it like my mom would tell me when I was little, when I would say, it hurts when I do this. And she would say, don't do that. Yeah, that one. But don't you think it's better? Look at it. I think it's better like this one. Watch. Let's see. I told my doctor I broke my leg in 2 places, and he told me not to go there anymore. And then it makes people think, what do you mean? Oh, the 2 places, you know? See, it's like too explanatory, you know what I mean? The way when you say 2 places, it's like your hand fed the answer. The other one would be like if you just said, he told me not to go there anymore. And then you go, oh, yeah, you meant like the, oh, that's funny because of 2 places, you know. Yeah, get it? Yeah, get it now? I guess I'm over analyzing, like what's funny to me. That's why I didn't get the canary. I mean, I got the canary joke. It just wasn't funny at all, so I figured I got it wrong. My dentist pulled out the wrong tooth. He said it was accidental. Oh, man. I wonder if we could make that better. Like, make the word, my dentist chopped one of my tooth out with an axe, and he said it was accidental. I don't know if that's too much of the... That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Look at it again. My dentist, he knocked my tooth out with an axe and said, that's accidental or something. That was pretty good. I think that actually improved that one. Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, throw that one in there. Yeah, it's just not the dental part, it's both of them. Or you could say, yeah, I don't know. Just leave it there. Nope, what? I don't even know what you're saying, man. You gotta type in a better sentence. You need an accidentalist. Yeah. Ding 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 ding. Those have been kind of fun, just not doing anything. Exceptional. Yeah. Let's see. Need an accidentalist. Read this one. My wife asked me to hand her a lipstick, and I handed her a glue stick. She's still not talking to me. Right, because her lips are shut, man. I don't know. Man, that's pretty good, I guess. It's definitely one of those, though. Let me try to read it better. My wife asked me to hand her a... let's see, that doesn't work. A lipstick. It's... My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. And I handed her some glue instead. She's still not talking to me. You see how that... It's too much stuff like stick. It should just be... My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I accidentally handed her some glue. She's still not talking to me. You get it? Bada bing! There we go. Her lips are... Yeah, there we go. Let's do that one. Let's do it like Chris O'Connell said. My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I handed her some glue instead, and she said, her lips are sealed. How would she tell you that, though? I think the other one makes more sense. She can't say anything. It would just be her lips are sealed. Oh, wait, let's do it again. My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I handed her some glue instead. And then let's see. I wish she could talk to me. Wait. She wanted, I don't know, like something like, what? How would you work in her lips are sealed on that one? That one's a hard one. Lipstick. I handed her some glue instead. And then you say, because her lips are sealed means you're like not going to say something. Maybe you have to have a longer joke, like I told my wife a secret while she was putting on. I told my wife a secret while she was putting on makeup. She asked me to hand her some lipstick. Instead, I handed her some glue. And but then what do you say? And she would have said her lips are sealed. That doesn't even make any sense because the joke is the having the lips sealed. I just think it's better to the one up there where you just say, my wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I handed her some glue instead. And she's still not talking to me. Let's see. Yeah, now lips are sealed is stuck in my head. Yeah, mum's the word. She's not talking to me. Her lips are sealed. Oh yeah, there you go. Let's try that one. My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. Well, that's like too... right, like that's like too explanatory. Like, yeah, of course her lips are sealed. You gave her glue. The other one makes you have to think about it a little bit. And now our lips are sealed and it's stuck in my head. Anyways, thanks everybody for hanging out, joking around. I tell you what, I was really frustrated though about that joke because I thought it was so dumb that it couldn't have been what I was thinking, so I kept looking to see what the real joke was. And it turns out it was the first one. Man, that was frustrating, I gotta admit. Yeah, but it's not just literal. You can't give away jokes like that. Like if you said, you know, my wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I handed her some glue instead. And then, where's the, and she's still not talking to me. Her lips are sealed. Actually, that's pretty good. If you do it like that. All right, let's see. My wife asked me to hand her some lipstick. I handed her some glue instead. She's still not talking to me. Her lips are sealed. But it's like a little too much, like her lips are sealed. What? See, lips are sealed is when you're concealing a joke. I mean, a secret. So there's got to be like a part of the joke that has that in there too, and then you can sort of. Anyway, guy walks into a fast food joint and asks, "Do you have any wings?" Well, fly over there and get me, please, burger cheese? What? Fly over there and get me a cheeseburger, please. Okay. So you walk, okay. A guy walks into a fast food joint and asks, "Hey, do you have any wings?" "Why, yes, I do." "Well, fly over there and get me a cheeseburger, please." Wow. Okay. I bet that was translated, that joke right there. Like from German. That's what I'm guessing. Because the way that was worded, please burger cheese. That's how they do it backwards like that. Is that right? Liam, what country is that from? Come on. Let's see if I guess that one right. Man, it's so late here. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to keep you up that late. Right. I mean, they're glue sticks, but it sounds too similar to the original. You know, and I think people picture glue, you know, like I gave her some glue instead and she wasn't paying attention. But if you say glue stick, it's like saying bubble gum again on that other joke. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go to sleep. Sorry to keep you awake too long. Come on in. Come on in. Whew, yikes. Come on in, everybody. Hey, I have to be up in 5 hours, but I was asleep. Yeah, all right. Well, anyways. All right, see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for all your support and everything. Appreciate it. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time,
that's
I have
over
not seen
analyzing
one
there,
person
Lisa. Come on.
That is a
All right, here we go.
crime dissector, rejector, uncertified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Prophetic radio's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector.
That doesn't make any sense, Liam.
Interceptor.
Please burger cheese. That's not how you say it.
On his pector,
It's cheeseburger,
with a
please.
Just remember I'm a type of fucking ginger. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
It can't be that,
Yeah, so
Liam.
just
That
get
doesn't
right
make any
back to it. All
sense.
right, everybody?
It doesn't make sense to say, please burger cheese. It's cheeseburger, please. All right. Fly over there and get me a please burger cheese. What? All right. Anyway, see you guys. Okay, Lisa. Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we analyze jokes over and over again. Even stupid jokes about canaries that have nothing to do with anything at all. Thank you very much for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Did you know the Canary Islands don't have any canaries? And the Virgin Isles, same thing. Not one canary. But that's not even funny though, Liam. The joke that's funny is the wings to fly over to get the cheeseburger. That's not even part of the joke. All right, thanks. See you guys.